folks, it's your friend Fishing with Dom here, and I'm going to demonstrate to you today how to properly rig a soft bait plastic onto a Texas rig. There we go, we have my torpedo sinker fixed onto my line of choice, just some fluorocarbon, to my offset worm hook, and what I'm going to be using today is a 7-inch Berkley Power Worm in the motor oil color. I'm threading this onto a worm today. This can be used for crawdads, creature baits, lizards, just about anything you can weave a hook through. But let's just use the worm for simplicity. Okay, what I'm going to do here, you're going to insert the tip of the hook into the worm until you get to about that bend. So if you look through that worm, you'll get to that second rounded part and then come out just like that. You're going to weave it all the way through, bend it up onto the hook, and if you got a little bit of extra worm left over, it's a safe bet sometimes, just for added security, to cover your knot and eyelet with the worm. Now what I do next, I'll hold the neck of the hook right here, and I'll stretch the worm out. And I will see to where that hook lines up. So we're looking about that little node right there. And because it's an offset, I'm going to go into the worm on an angle, so that way when the fish bites down on it, it's going to move the worm and expose the hook. So we're looking about right there. Let's go in at that spot and thread it up. Just like that. There we go. Leave that hook tip barely exposed. So once that fish chomps down on it, boom, it's right there and ready to go for you. And our finished product, let me grab the weight in the line. Boom. Just like that, just like that. These can be fished in open water, through weeds, on top of weeds, throw them into docks, around boats especially. I've done very well flipping these under pontoon boats in the summertime. I personally like to use the offset worm hook instead of the EWGs, just in case a fish suddenly short swipes at the bait. With the EWGs, because this point falls in line with the eyelet, that fish initially has to chomp down a lot harder. And I personally believe with the offset, because it's not in line, once they pull down on it, you have a much more exposed point, and I personally believe it leads to better hookup ratios. So next time you're out on the open water, give this a shot if you haven't already. It's been very popular for about 40 years or so. It's caught bass on all sorts of circuits across the world, actually. You know, general rule of thumb, 10 foot of water or less, I'll go a 1/4 ounce of lead up between an 1/8. But anything deeper than that, I'll generally like to keep it at about 3/8 to about a half. I'll only bust out the half when I'm getting out about 20 foot of water or so if I'm Carolina rigging, but that's for a different story. But throw it on out there, hang on tight. You're definitely going to catch a couple more bass this season if your worm is positioned perfectly on the hook. If you like this video or have any recommendations for future ideas that you'd like to see me publish, please let me know. Thank you for following Fishing with Dom.